Hi. So I wanted to share with you, with everyone, what's been happening with me in the past 3 months. I've sort of gone person to person, one-on-one telling people, but at this point, I think it makes more sense to share broadly. So my friends, acquaintances, colleagues, clients can all know at once. Um, so about 3 months ago, I started getting some unusual neurological symptoms, including muscle twitches, and which progressed to balance issues, weakness in my legs, spread to my left hand. This is as fast as I can move my left hand. I'm trying to move it fast. This is my right hand, which is still largely unaffected. Anyway, a week and a half ago, I was diagnosed, unfortunately, with ALS. I didn't know a ton about ALS before. I knew Stephen Hawking had it. I knew the Ice Bucket Challenge. I certainly know a lot more now. It's a neurological disease that affects the voluntary muscles of the body and the brain's ability to communicate with them. It causes effectively spreading paralysis and weakness. It is incurable and it is fatal, with a life expectancy of 2 to 5 years. Though the quality of life is dramatically declining during that time because you're becoming more and more paralyzed as the symptoms progress. The pattern of the symptoms, the speed of the progression, the sequence in which they affect the body, it varies dramatically from person to person. So it's quite unpredictable, which adds another element to the whole thing. So clearly this is a grim diagnosis. And I've been processing that. But there's also some reasons for hope. I was quite assertive in advocating for myself, despite neurologists like pushing back and saying, "You're fine." I wasn't fine and I knew it. And I ended up being diagnosed after 3 months of symptom onset, where the average is 8 to 12 months. And that's not to say that the other patients are not advocating for themselves. There can be long delays between appointments. There are all sorts of reasons. Many tests are needed to confirm a diagnosis. It's not an easy disease to diagnose. So I was fortunate enough to be diagnosed early, and I'm already on treatment and will be pursuing more treatment. I'm also being tested for a genetic mutation that, while rare, if I have it, it opens all sorts of more effective treatment options. There have also been some breakthroughs in clinical trials. Particularly, I'm interested in stem cells, and there is a clinical trial using stem cells that I am going to try to get into. I just don't want a placebo. So that's sort of where things are. There's another aspect to it about I had a very unusual illness in Colombia a year ago, and one of my neurologists thinks there may be a connection. I'm going to put that as a separate video. I'm also going to make a separate video about my symptom progression because it's interesting and some people might want to hear about that. I also have a very comprehensive Lyme disease panel being done because there are instances, some people believe, some doctors believe, that Lyme disease can mimic ALS. So if it was Lyme disease, that would obviously offer more treatment options as well. Or Lyme derivatives and co-infections like Borrelia and Bartonella. So that's it. That's it for now. I'm going to be posting updates as I have them. Thanks for listening.